Mr. S. Gurumurthy is joining us. I'll have to move on. And let's bring him in. Sir, thank you for joining us on Times Now. Always a pleasure to have you. We're just days away from the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. And look at the kind of commentary we're seeing. Sam Pitroda has said that he's bothered as India is hung up on Ram Temple. He's upset. What do you make of this, sir?
See, these people who comment on the Ram Temple today do not know how the Ram Temple movement, the Ayodhya movement evolved. As someone who was very intensely associated with the evolution and development of the Ram Temple, it is not merely a temple. It is not merely an aspiration of the Hindus to have a temple for Lord Rama. But there were three convergent factors which powered the movement. One, the invaders' provocative monument should never have been allowed to exist. This is what Arnold Toynbee said in his Abul Kalam Azad Memorial Lecture in 1957, if I remember right, where he recalled the Polish government demolishing the Russian cathedral in the center of Warsaw, because the Russian cathedral had been built in the 17th century as a symbol of their dominance over Poland. So the Polish government demolished the Russian cathedral and built a Roman Catholic church in its place. It is because the Russian cathedral reminded them of the domination of Russia over Poland. Quoting this, Arnold Toynbee said that the three mosques which exist in Mathura, Kashi, and Ayodhya symbolize the dominance of Aurangzeb's Islamic rule over India.
Right.
And it is a provocative monument. He said it is an ocular disturbance. And the Hindus wanted nothing more than these three places to be restored to them. And when they made this just claim, they were mocked at. Was Rama born in India? Did Rama ever exist? And when they wanted evidence to be produced, and this evidence was produced before a committee appointed by Chandrasekhar, who was the Prime Minister for 4 months, and in which Sharad Pawar and Bairon Singh Shekhawat were also there. These documents have been brought out in the BJP white paper, where there is a conversation which is very important. So Sharad Pawar asked, is there not a British period evidence to show that a temple was demolished and a mosque was built? Yes, there is evidence. But Azam Khan said that is a British period evidence who wanted to create conflict between Hindus and Muslims. So we want pre-British evidence. Pre-British evidence by way of the Christian travelers were produced.
Right.
They said it is only a hearsay evidence. They only heard that a mosque was built on a temple which was demolished. And like that, the idea was to somehow deny the Hindus the place of their worship. It would have been very easy to resolve it, like it happened in the case of Somnath Temple. But the just claims were not only refused, but the Hindus were mocked at. The entire political system converged to say that this is a communal claim. In the background of the distorted secular politics which had evolved at the time, with the Shahbano case ruling being overturned, and even Bhutto hanged in Pakistan being a cause for riots here, some Al-Aqsa mosque issue becoming a cause for riots here, and the country was in the grip of kind of politics which had arrested the Indian mind and denied the idea of India. Ram Temple movement evolved as a corrective to all this, because I was a personal eyewitness to it. I was a participant in it. I was observing the whole thing.
Right.
And I knew that but for the Ram Temple movement, there would have been no corrective to the distorted secular, pseudo-secular politics.
Now, sir, allow me to ask you this.
Ram Temple is a
allow me to ask you this, Mr. Gurumurthy, that, this thing about Hindu Rashtra. Now, while there is celebration about Sanatan Astha from Ayodhya and to other parts of the country, many people believe that, look, what is happening is taking India on the path of Hindu Rashtra. They say if BJP remains in power, we are moving towards Hindu Rashtra.
I can only say that these people are so ignorant about even the recent history of Indian politics that they are not the people worthy of making a comment on either Ram Temple or the effect of Ram Temple. Ram Temple is perhaps the most benevolent expression of the idea of India. If Mahatma Gandhi were to be believed, Mahatma Gandhi believed in Ramarajya and he equated it to Swarajya. If Ramarajya became a communal idea in the post-independent India, obviously Ram Temple will be a communal idea, a Hindu idea, in the Hindu Rashtra expression. This is utter illiteracy, and I think they are not the people who are really capable of commenting on a profound political development in India,
right,
which is now expressing as
or maybe, sir, you never know. This is being deliberately done. They're, perpetuating a falsehood. Let's, come to the main question, sir. And there is a lot of talk about this. The hesitation that we are seeing. Sitaram Yechuri was invited. He says, I'm not going. Congress leaders are hesitant, not taking a stand. We are being told that even Mamta may not go. How are you seeing this?
I look at it in two ways. If they agree to attend, then the whole issue would never redevelop again. Actually, they are redeveloping the issues which promoted the idea of Ram Temple and resulted in a massive political shift in India, because the remnants of that pseudo-secular politics is so deeply rooted even today that they would go and throughout the Ramzan period have a very, expressive association with other religions, and in Christmas. But for Ram Temple, about Rama, what Mahatma Gandhi said and
right,
what our freedom fighters said, how Rama was a unifier of India, casting aside all this, if we don't attend the Ram Temple inauguration, it seems they accept that there is still hold for pseudo-secular politics. This is how I look at it. Second thing is that the BJP is going to get great mileage out of it. I don't know why they are doing it. The spirit of the Ram Temple movement in the 1980s and 90s, you must have seen how it expressed itself.
So what you're saying is that this will cost
them
politically also.
Is not necessary today. But
okay,
the pseudo-secular polity is still again recreating the Ram Temple movement even after the temple has been accomplished.
Okay. Now, sir, people believe that because Prime Minister is going, they say that, look, Prime Minister Modi should not go. Because he is going, this means that the event has been politicized.
It is not. You see, please understand one thing. If the Prime Minister participates, it doesn't become political. This movement has a national character. It has powered nationalist ideas. It has brought down the content of pseudo-secular politics.
Now, finally, Mr. Gurumurthy, how should this entire movement that has now culminated into a grand Ram temple in Ayodhya should be seen in context of cultural revivalism?
I entirely agree that it is a cultural revival, and every Indian should be proud of it. In fact, the secular polity is trying to invent Muslim objection to Ram temple, which is not correct. After the Supreme Court has decided that the Ram temple should be built, and by a unanimous decision, and a national committee should be formed for that, and there should be private contribution to that. I don't know why this political objection.
All right. Mr. Gurumurthy, always a pleasure. Thank you for speaking to Times Now, sir.